It says, I don't know the basics. And they said, don't tell him. And when I asked the fuck I do, and they said, sorry, you can't handle it.
Yeah.
What do they mean I don't know the basics?
Dude, I don't know.
This was in the chat regarding me talking about having a host.
Yeah.
So what do they mean I don't know the basics? I was talking about having a host,
Yeah.
and they were saying I didn't know the basics. And mind you, this is when it diverged into them saying I need to fear you, and I said I trusted you, and they called me an idiot.
Yeah.
But what do they mean I don't know the basics?
Um, I don't know. Actually, I think that's something you should ask them about.
I tried to, they didn't tell me. They said I wasn't ready to know.
Oh,
But they said it must be nice to have a host, and it must be nice to be alive.
yeah.
I mean, not really. Creationlings as a species aren't the usual type of demon. They weren't created by a god or even a devil. They are
Yeah.
artificially made by Eldritch, which is really weird to think about. We can't be created or destroyed in the normal sense. This is a matter of reality bending. We're like a fifth dimensional thing. But
Hmm.
on in our true form, we aren't the form that I actually chose in hell. It's more of a unicellular thing where I'm essentially just a single celled organism, and the only way to really die is from my own species,
Hmm.
like in my natural state. And I have to
Hmm.
be exposed in the natural state, which I hardly ever really show.
Yeah. My VTuber model stuff.
I mean, there are certain weapons that could be used to harm us using our DNA, but unless it's alive,
Ah,
um, like member of our species, it can't kill us.
yeah.
It's, it's so complicated. The only reason I learned that weapons could be used to harm us is because Amon literally made weapons out of our DNA.
That's pretty sick.
You know, apparently Amon used one of these weapons, and Arsimoy tripped over it and got like seriously injured once. Luckily, she healed, but it took much longer for her to heal compared to a normal weapon. Ugh. I don't really know what they meant though. Like I was talking about having a host, and they're like, "You should be grateful you even got a host." I'm like, I got stuck in a female host. I'm a male demon. Like, this is
Well, that can
fucking.
always change, you know? There are surgeries that are free for, healthcare.
I know, but this is genetically female. Like, even with surgery, it will still be a female host, and I
Yeah.
can't father children. I can't make sperm.
Yeah.
Like that's a big issue with me. Maybe that's a petty thing to be upset about.
Yeah.
It's not just that though. If I want to preserve my eggs for after surgery in Hawaii, they say that IVF you have to pay out of pocket. It's not covered.
Yeah. Ooh, this theme is meme.
It sucks. IVF is not covered here. You have to pay out of pocket, and then on top of that, they denied me surgery because they say I have too much anxiety.
Hmm.
They said I'm not a good candidate for top surgery because I'll be too anxious on the surgery table.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I say fuck them.
Yeah, it's funny though because if I did get approved for surgery,
Where's the
it would be a
movie?
long wait list, and it's like, which is great though because it is covered by insurance. It's free basically to get top surgery. So top surgery and bottom surgery here, like any transgender care, is basically covered under insurance, so we don't have to pay. The issue, though, with free transgender care is that you
This
often
work?
have to
Okay.
fight to get approved. You know, like in the UK, for example, people are on these wait lists for surgery for years before they get approved, and they're
Hmm.
often denied multiple times for stupid
Yeah.
various reasons.
Yeah.
And even though it's free, they're like denied the first few times they apply for surgery.
Yeah.
That's the same way here. Anywhere that has free transgender care often has some stupid, ridiculous wait list to get approved.
Yeah.
I was on a wait list for hormones for months before I got approved.
Hmm.
Same with hormone blockers. So, what exactly am I supposed to do, Phoenix?
Just help build up the cult.
Do you even know when I'm supposed to leave home?
Oh yeah.
Why won't you tell me?
Because I'm gonna take you. It's gonna be a surprise.
Oh, by the way, we found my 3DS.
Nice.
You want to hear something interesting?
Sure.
So we got my 3DS XL working, but the 3DS launch edition, like the older one,
Hmm.
is missing a battery and stylus. When the launch edition I had was originally working, it had a battery and stylus, and last time I checked.
Hmm.
But what's interesting is it still has that hack cartridge for all the games. It's a little black and gold R4 cartridge. Now, what's interesting about this R4 cartridge is it had a bunch of hacked games. And even when it wasn't connected to Wi Fi, I would always hear someone talk on the other end, like a
Hmm.
hushed tone, kind of dripping with malice in like a sense, like fake niceties. And it would say things like, "Hi, you want to be friends?" Is that weird?
No.
It, it's a flame red 3DS.
Sounds like it's just
I po-
creepy pasta.
I actually posted a picture of the 3DS on on my Instagram. It's one of the original launch editions 14 years old. It's like
Ah.
kind of uncommon. It's not really that common anymore. It's one of the rarer ones.
Mhm.
But what was interesting about it is the way I got it. You see, I dropped my 2DS down a toilet when I was like 5 years old.
Mhm.
And the next day, my dad says he gets me a new 3DS, the launch edition. But apparently, there was someone reselling a 3DS, which was brand new.
Mhm.
Like, brand new launch edition, perfect good condition, with a bunch of, hack games on it, right?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Mostly Nintendo games. Like
Ooh.
some of it was Zoo Pets. There was some Mitomo on there. There was a bunch of games that you would normally play in the 2010s.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, what was interesting was even if you weren't connected to Wi-Fi, you would hear this hushed tone, like, "Hi, you want to be friends?" Like that, like
Mhm.
really, like weird. But what was interesting is I still have this thing,
Mhm.
like even today. And my dad would get so terrified of this thing because he thought it was connected to Wi-Fi because it had hacked games, and he was afraid to get like called out for pirating, right? That he never really wanted me alone while using this because it was a voice on the other end.
Yeah.
And this thing was so cursed. I would always lose my styluses. That's why it has no stylus, right? Those things were
Mhm.
so easy to lose. But what's interesting about this, though, is the battery is just gone.
Oh.
But now my dad is getting older. He's forgetting things sometimes. He has chemo brain because of cancer, and he
Mhm.
doesn't remember the full extent of how bad it was. He just thinks that it was because of the fact that he didn't want me connected to Wi-Fi. That's why he didn't let me use it. He forgets how fucking cursed that DS was.
Oh, fuck.
So now he lets me have it again, although the battery is somewhat missing. It's one of those CTR 003 batteries, like really fucking old. It still takes a micro USB, and I don't mean the flat kind. I mean like the square kind of micro USB, the one you can't find almost anywhere anymore.
Yeah.
You know the kind I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what's interesting about this was it genuinely terrified my dad to the point I hadn't used this in almost a decade. So stupid. Do you want to hear the list of games that were on this thing?
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't even remember all the games that were on this 3DS. There was over like 260 on one cartridge, but I remember some of the classic ones. There were some Mario games, some Princess Peach games, Hello Kitty.
Mhm.
Um, there were these Zoo Pet games, like the one with hamsters and monkeys. There were horses. There were birds. There were like restaurant tycoons where you can make sushi. Um, there were a Winx Club.
Mhm.
There were a bunch of weird things. Um, there were these really obscure games too. You could play face heads, drawing games, all of these things that you normally had on a 3DS. Bro, there was even Majora's Mask on that thing. It was this whole thing where there was literally every game you could think of on being a 3DS on one single hacked cartridge. The thing is, My dad got it the very next day after I dropped my 2DS in the toilet. He doesn't remember that part, but I do. What do you think?
I think there's got to be a reason he doesn't remember, like a bad reason. Like the DS made him
Part of
not
the reason
remember.
he doesn't No, part of the reason he doesn't remember things is just because he got cancer
Uh,
when like 15 years ago, and chemo made him forget things now.
uh,
Also, the doctor says he's at risk of dementia.
oh, God.
So yeah, I'm really hoping it's not genetic.
Acubee? The fuck
Like
does that mean?
I'm really hoping that if I take this deal and I don't fucking age, that I don't get fucking dementia.
Yeah,
Because I have very bad genetics out for me. On my mom's side, people get organ failure.
yeah.
And on my dad's, there's addictive personalities. Well, on my mom's and my dad's side, there's addictive personalities. That's why I don't do any drugs.
Yeah.
But on my dad's side, there's a lot of mental illness. And on my mom's side, there's a lot of mental illness. So, yay. And on my
Yay! Gotta love it.
and on my dad's side, there's like a risk of dementia. So, yeah, I'm really fucked over with my genetics.
Oh, yeah, you so are.
That's, but it only really happens with age. Also, there is a risk of blindness
Oh,
because
God.
my sister wears glasses, my cousin wears glasses, my grandpa wears glasses, and
Mhm.
even if I'm not wearing glasses now, I could wear them with old age.
Yeah.
I'm already having problems with my vision, but people just say, "Oh, you're fine."
Hmm.
Like I have, you know when it's like dark out and like lights appear like rays.
Hmm.
What is that called?
I don't remember.
Is that a form of blindness?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, when I'm at night, um, lights, specifically like stoplights or like any bright illuminated light,
Mhm.
it appears like this. Like, hold on. I'm gonna send you a picture of what it looks like. Oh, it's called astigmatism, and yes, it is a form of blindness.
Ah, okay.
That means I'll never be able to drive. Fun,
I
right?
mean, if it helps, I'm not allowed to legally drive either.
I've
Schizophrenics
never
can't
taken a
legally
drive.
drive.
This is what it looks like. This is what I see at night. I might need glasses eventually, but people just chalk it up to me being fine. I'm also gonna need braces too.
Oh, I
I'm gonna
need
be the
braces
weird
too. I
poor.
hate it.
Yeah, I actually want to get braces because it's driving me crazy. But in my state, they're saying that my TMJ treatment, my physical therapy for TMJ, is not covered.
Hmm.
So until I get TMJ therapy, I can't get braces.
Oh, God.
So I'm hoping that if I get the correct treatment, I will be the nerd with glasses and braces. Even though that really sucks, it's what I need.
Yeah.
You think I look like a cool nerd? Oh god, I'm gonna look like such a dork. It's even funnier though because I am a nerd. Like
Yeah.
I genuinely can tell you almost anything related to history facts.
Yeah.
Like I study history and science for fun. Like not as a school subject, just for fun, for morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only one in my family who actually knows that Henry III was allergic to strawberries. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Did you know that the first bee allergy was from an Egyptian king who got stung in battle, but he lived?
Oh.
Apparently.
I wonder if I have any Robux.
Okay, but seriously, how the fuck am I supposed to do any of this when I'm like so severely crippled?
I know.
Like, I'm genuinely worried on how all my disabilities are going to affect any form of future proxy work. I mean, then again, a lot of y'all are kind of disabled.
Always.
Like, no offense, but like, y'all at least have something going on.
Oh, every one of us. Yep.
But my disabilities are not just mental. They are fucking physical. And they will
Mhm.
get worse with age. God forbid I do not do some sort of immortality thing on my host. Oh, there is one thing that I could consider for having a male host. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the gender switching stone?
No,
Yes
I
or no?
haven't.
There is an anomalous object, which some people have called an SCP. My mom thought it was a bright idea to steal it because originally it was a gift from Az. Basically, it is a stone that looks like a jasper, but if you touch it, it embeds itself in your palm and falls off after a minute or so. And after that minute, you have changed biological sexes. But if you use it more than once, you turn into a horrifying monster. So it is best advised to take that stone and handle it with gloves in a plastic bag unless you intend to change your biological sex.
Yeah.
The Foundation was using it to give people surgery, but it is basically an Asmodean crystal. Pretty
Yeah.
cool, right?
Oh, yeah, it is.
If I got my hands on it to bring to Earth, that thing would be very valuable. A mom thinks it's too dangerous because the unexpected outcome of that crystal and my human form could have the effect of giving me my demon form in this body with the ability to change back and forth between demon and human form and the adverse reaction of getting some of my abilities, if not all, because of said form. What do you think?
Hmm. I think.
And he
Yeah.
thinks it's too dangerous. He also thinks another possible outcome is due to my childish nature. The nature of the stone more than often not reflects your nature, you know, your personality. And the stone could, on another scale, turn me into what can only be described as boss baby. In
Hmm.
other words, because of my childish nature and personality, the stone would see me as such a childish person and
Yeah.
turn me into basically a child with the ability to speak, like a literal infant. Think Boss Baby,
Yeah.
which would only be weirder for him being my partner, and he doesn't want to risk that being the small margin of error. Because you can only change once with that stone.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think you should do it.
Here's the thing, that stone is somewhere only the kids know where it is.
Hmm.
And Amon knows where it is. They've been hiding it from me because they don't want me using the fucking stone. And it's in our astral house. And I have no fucking clue how to get it on Earth. At all. I don't know how to do transport magic at all. Any idea?
Uh, there's a spell book for it in Osmodius's house.
We have that stone. It was a gift to us.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know how to get it here. It was one of a very small collection of stones. It's one of a kind. There are
Yeah.
no other stones like it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If you help me manage to get the stone here, I could probably lend you the stone.
I'm very comfortable with my gender.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about any trans people who want to use it.
Ah, yes.
Maybe if I gave it to you to let you borrow, your partner would hate me less. I don't know. Just trying to be friendly.
Yeah.
But that stone is a challenge, mostly because of obtaining it in the physical realm.
Yeah.
I mean, it is possible the children have come to Earth and have brought the stone with them before when you babysat them. The
Yeah.
issue is just getting them to not be so reluctant to go to Earth again. Every time they want to go to Earth, they always just do it to fucking gamble and shit.
I mean, they seem
God,
to
those
like
kids are
me pretty much, so you could always just tell them they can come hang out with me if they come.
it's not that they don't like me, it's just that I raised them wrong, okay?
Yeah.
I raised them to believe gambling and hot wiring cars is okay. So now they think, why go to Earth when I can stay in the luxury of my home in hell if
Yeah.
I can just go to Earth just to gamble? So they think that Earth is essentially a place just to party.
Yeah.
They don't think it's a place to actually grow up and have fun because they have fun in hell.
Hmm.
They have fun with all their friends and they don't want to leave the home they've always known. Instead, they only go there as like a holiday vacation getaway.
Hmm.
By the way, did you see that picture of Arsene I posted in the group chat?
I don't think I did.
That little kid in the hazmat suit.
Oh, yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
That's Arsene, my daughter. That's the only picture I have of any of my kids. She's probably the most well behaved,
Yeah.
but those kids are a nightmare. Okay, but serious question. How do I get them to stop associating Earth with Party Planet?
Show them other stuff about Earth that can be fun.
I think it's just because I told them the only reason I like Earth is because I get to eat cosmic brownies, and I didn't want to destroy Earth because I get to bask in gluttony.
Hmm.
Like, I literally told them that all these technological things that Earth has and hell doesn't, and
Hmm.
all these foods here are one of the reasons I like to stay, and they took it literally. and now they only go here just for those things.
Yeah.
I feel that's kind of my fault. Because, mind you, I'm a bioweapon. I was literally made for destruction. And I feel like I'm kind of lazy for not doing that. Instead, I've like chosen a more blend in route and less destruction, even though I might do some in the future with proxy work. I'm not gonna like do like, oh my god, world domination kind of
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
But the kids took what I said literally. Now they only go here for fucking cosmic brownies and pubs.
Mm. How do
That's
I
my
please?
fault. Those kids are autistic. Literal fucking interpretations. Amelia Bedelia level.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do?
Maybe show them more healthier activities. Oh, wait.
If I
Boyfriend.
try that, they'll say it's boring, and then they won't want to come to Earth at all.
Mhm. I mean, you could show them movies.
They'll just say they could watch movies in hell. I've
Yeah,
tried.
true.
I've tried everything. I tried to try. I feel like I have to force them to come here.
Yeah.
I don't know. These kids are a nightmare because they say they have enough time that they get to spend with me in the astral, but I
Yeah.
feel like they're not understanding that I want to be conscious to spend time with them. I It takes a lot of power out of me, and I get exhausted having to astral travel to go see them. I want to be able to spend time with them while I'm in my host because it takes less magic, and they're not getting that it's a lot of strength to use to spend this time with them.
Yeah.
My species doesn't actually have a soul.
Oh God.
You know what we really are?
Hmm.
I tried to explain this to the proxies. They didn't really seem to get it. Unlike most living things that can be destroyed or created,
Hmm.
we are essentially a unicellular object made of a core of mana.
Yeah.
Like, you know how in Astro Boy the robot has a giant power core in the
Hmm.
center of his chest?
Hmm.
We basically have a giant power core in the center of our chests. But instead of it being electricity, it's mana, and a lot of it.
Yeah.
To give you an example, that mana in its pure form is what we are, like our
Hmm.
natural state, like without a host. And that is how we are killed by our own species. By someone going to the direct center, the inner core. Like
Hmm.
there are layers of the core. The inner core, right?
Hmm.
It's this little black circle, and someone has to shatter it essentially. And it has to be another creationling because it's kind of like when a white blood cell attacks a bacteria. That's basically how we attack each other.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting about this cellular destruction is the more mana we gain, the more abilities we gain. And
Hmm.
my species actually measures maturity based on how many abilities we've gained in a lifetime. We just keep on racking up power stats. It's pretty weird
Hmm.
because not only am I considered higher class for what I was created for, but I'm still not even fully developed, and yet I already have so much mana.
Hmm.
That's weird to think of. proxies assumed I was a lower class demon. Do I really give off that vibe?
Sometimes, yeah.
They thought I had a soul. I don't.
They don't know a lot of demons that have souls, if that helps.
Yeah, but they thought I was one of the demons that had a soul. I'm one of those Hellborns that doesn't have a soul. Possession for me is weird. It's basically like a parasitic infection, not actual possession.
Mhm.
I mean, have you ever seen that Tanji virus analog horror meme?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I do. I'm gonna watch some
It's
Good
a lot
Doctor.
like that. It's a lot like that. It's basically a virus. The way that I work is basically being like a virus that spreads through a human body and takes over it once it has died. And then I reanimate it as a corpse to help it live and grow symbiotically. Kind of like Venom, I guess, except there is no other person in there. It's weird. It's really weird. It's hard to explain to the proxies. It's just really weird.
Mhm.
My biology is a fifth dimensional mystery. And because I am something of what a god could have not possibly created, I am a total abomination. I am something that could not be created nor destroyed. I was genetically made in a lab
Lab
by
stuff can
Eldritch.
still be lab stuff can still be destroyed easily.
Here's the thing. The only way we can physically be destroyed is by our own species. We were made specifically as bioweapons for war with our own species, to be destroyed only by our own species. That is why my species, being half imp, by the way, my species DNA is composed of half imp, a little bit of Martian. There's Fae in there, Eldritch. It's just really weird combination of mixes. But my species is primarily imp.
Mhm.
But the sequencing of DNA mixing leads to a species which, although half imp, they found that it was a cheap filler for essentially being immortal because imps live very long. And when you combine that with Fae, Martian, Eldritch, all this shit, you get something that can only destroy its own species,
Mhm.
that can't be destroyed by anything else. It is an abomination that no god took part in. It's awful.
Also hairy, it's enough to make you go mad. I mean, mad.
You know?
Balls in my
Mhm.
face.
What do you think about this?
Well, we busted our
I think I need weed.
here.